What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Pearson Podcast, episode 47, as you can see right there. So right off the bat, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the audio might be slightly different. Well, fun fact, I had my microphone facing that way for, the past 20-something episodes. So that's fun. So little did I know, you flip it around, wow, sounds so much clearer. It's funny because I you obviously watch other podcasts and yeah, you always hear like the whole fist away thing, but this thing I had to get like a lot closer than, even a fist sometimes. But now it should be better, and honestly it's gonna make it easier because now my face, isn't gonna be like obstructed by the mic. So, I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic today on this wonderfully rainy day in my case, but, could be 80 degrees where you're living, could be snowing, could be, whatever. You could be on a different planet. Who knows? If I'm talking to some aliens, please leave a comment. That'd be, in whatever language, whatever you want. Or, you could just like telepathically see where my location is and, visit me if you're friendly. So, in on that very weird note, I'm going to go over what we were talking about in today's episode. We've got some good stuff today, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. I'm going to be talking about VeVe drops. How I've made probably around $2,000 from $200 investment, something like that. $200 or $300 investment, I don't know. So that's fun. It's kind of crypto, NFTs, kind of fun stuff. But it's not overwhelming. Like, I don't know if you're into the NFT thing right now, but you have to go on OpenSea, and it's confusing and a little, not scary, but just kind of daunting, I guess. So, and I'll explain it to where it's very clear if you have no idea what an NFT is. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be making a new Pearson podcast intro, like the one you saw in the beginning of this, where, the camera's flying through the forest and, you see the cabin. I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to try and explain what I'm going for in that regard. Talking about how I should be more comfortable asking for things as opposed to helping other people all the time. Talking about my weight loss. Talking about the steps I am taking to get shredded. You know what I'm saying? Gonna talk about how Thanksgiving went. I'm going to be talking about my other channel that I started and is a secret channel. Spoiler alert, still at 2 subscribers. I'm gonna talk about my proudest recipe, which is a hamburger. But if you like hamburgers, you're gonna want to stick to it. Stick to the when I talk about that, because it will change the game of hamburgers for you. And I'll finish up talking about the channel. So let's get it right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Get comfortable. I have a coffee. This is actually my second coffee, so feeling a little, jittery. So, VeVe drops. So, what is VeVe? VeVe is an app you can get on Apple and Android, and it basically is just it's super fun, especially if you like stuff like, they've got stuff that everybody likes. If you like the entertainment world, whether that's movies or video games or, clothing brands, artists, all the entertainment things in the world. Okay, so this actually is going to be slightly difficult to explain if you don't know what an NFT is, because I don't even necessarily know what it truly means. I know what it is, but I don't know what it truly means. So right off the bat, NFT stands for non-fungible token, which basically, I'm assuming fungible means you can't, I equate it to fumble, like there's no chance of it slipping. It is a token that is impossible to, um, it's impossible to lose sight of what it actually is, or lose ownership. Like, who owns this token? That's how I see it. Um, so basically, it is a app that sells NFTs from giant brands, such as they just did Disney, which was arguably the biggest NFT drop of of all time. I think truly, because before all these, big entertainment things and companies came into the space, like I just said, games and movies, whatever, it was just solo digital artists such as myself. Obviously, bigger ones like Beeple Crap is the biggest of them all. He sold one for 67 million, which I think is like, I think like in the top five of most expensive art ever sold. And he's a rare case because he's made a piece of digital art, or a piece of art mainly digital, every single day for, I believe, 15 years. So yeah, that man deserves it for sure. Every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Never missed a day, and never like always made it that day. Like, he didn't stockpile them for a week to go on vacation, uploads, one every week. No, he makes them every single day. It's funny, just a little off story. He showed whatever, what he made on the day of the birth of his child, and it's like, something where he literally probably imported a model, put it to wireframe, screenshotted the screen, and then uploaded it. Literally, like, I could do it right now within, you know, a minute, literally a minute, which is just funny because, he still did it because, he literally had probably like, 3 minutes to do something before he needed to leave, or something like that, I'm guessing. But that's just a funny little side story. But yeah, did it every single day. So now he is one of the richest artists in the world just from NFTs. So now that the world is slowly accepting the NFT crypto space kind of world, you have brands like uh, Marvel, um, Disney, big artists. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I think so. Obviously Disney is owned by Marvel, but um, it started off with Batman. So actually, yeah, maybe I guess Batman and Spider-Man is part of the DC universe, I believe. I'm not good with the Marvel versus DC thing. I always thought they were together, literally. Um, I thought it was just like one person making all the superheroes, but I guess not. Um, so they have, Batman, Spider-Man, NFTs, like, and those are huge. And they have all these smaller artists and things like that. But I'm getting kind of carried away. Basically, what you do is I think it's like every Thursday or something, they do a drop of a collectible. And it could be, uh, uh, just a smaller company, or it could be something massive like Disney. And they do it very well. They, they, okay, so basically, with huge companies such as Disney, they'll release things that have 15,000 editions. Um, okay, so I'm realizing that this is gonna need a lot more explaining than I won't be able to go into all of it because I don't want to bore anybody that's not interested into it. But basically, long story short, um, there's a timer. When a drop is about to happen, you can see a timer says, like in, 27 a day and, 18 hours, seconds, minutes, seconds, blah, blah, blah. This will happen. You can watch it count down. But, if you just know it's 8 o'clock tomorrow, 8 in the morning. So basically, as soon as that timer hits 0, you want to click the buy now button as fast as you can so you can get one. Say it's a pair of shoes or whatever. They only have 15,000 pairs of shoes, let's just say. So if it's a really popular shoe, you're going to want to buy it as soon as possible, or else it'll sell out, or PS5 or whatever. So it's basically the same thing with NFTs. They make a certain amount of editions, and like I was talking about earlier with giant companies such as Disney, they'll do a lot more editions, something like 15,000, but smaller artists, they'll do something like, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. And there's different rarities just to make it even more complicated. But even the most common rarity is still pretty good. So, basically, where should I go from now? Now that I've kind of just now you kind of get the idea, kind of. I'll give you some more information. So, I started this app about, I don't know, a month ago maybe. I'm not even sure. Probably about a month. So I got in at the perfect time. Well, kind of perfect, right before, because I got to get the Disney drops, or attempt to get them. So if you don't know, Disney owns, well, they own a lot of stuff, but the stuff that they dropped, I'm trying to remember it all. So the first drop, I believe, was, okay, the first drop was the Mickey hat and Elsa. It's like 3D models, and they're all like gold, gold metallic. So it's like Elsa, the princess from the whatever, um Frosted Away or something like that. Frozen. Frosted Away. Frozen. And then it was a Mickey's hat, like Mickey Mouse. And they're just a 3D model with a gold texture applied to it. And that's the NFT. Okay? So I can actually pull up what the NFT I have in a second, but so basically it was that. It was first that, and then it was The Simpsons, and each drop had 2 rarities, a common and a rare, but even the common was hard to get. So it was Mickey Mouse and Elsa, it was The Simpsons, and then it was Marvel, and then it was Pixar, and then it ended with the cherry on top, which was the Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse statue, which was the number 1 highest. And these all happened a day after each other. So first it was Elsa, next day it was, Simpsons, whatever. So let me rewind slightly to what I think, to about a week prior before the Disney drops. There was a thing called, okay, so basically before all of this, it was, Spider-Man and, these cool companies were in it, but it was never like an established like, whatever. What I'm trying to get at is the United States government released a NFT. United States government, ladies and gentlemen. And it was a stamp for the USPS, for the Day of the Dead. And I have 2 of those bad boys. Now, I bought them to just give you a little, like, a little backstory of how much I paid and how much they're worth right now, which I believe isn't anywhere close to how much they will be in the future. So basically, I bought both of them for $6, and now they're worth $94 each. So right there, spend $12, get $200. Boom, right there. Um, and I'm holding on to them because I know they're going to be worth a lot in the future. Now, and I also got Iron Man. So this is what the NFTs look like. I'll show it on the screen for, yeah. Yeah, so I think you get it. It's basically just Iron Man and he's gold. Um, so I guess I kind of got carried away, but okay, so basically, I started off by getting 2 of those stamps. I'm pumped, I'm saving them, and then Disney dropped. First try, I got the Elsa, and I'm like, well, heck yeah. I'm gonna, and I saw it instantly started selling for like 300. I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna resell it, 300. Long story short, right now they're worth 1,000. So, but keep going on. I sold the Elsa. Now I've got a lot. So now already, I knew if I sold my Elsa, I would always be in profit because at that point I had bought $12 worth of the stamps, and then also bought Elsa, and the Disney drops I think were like 60, except for the last one which was 333. But these were all 60, the Disney drops. So right now, at that point, I spent 12 plus 60, so 74, 72. Um, so I had 72 bones in there, and I could sell the Elsa for 300. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. Boom! Now I've got 300. So now it's 300 minus 72, so whatever that is, 200 and something profit. And I have the 2 stamps. You know what I mean? Still. So fast forward tomorrow, next day, Simpsons. Oh, and at this point, I told my family about it because I'm like, okay, this is gonna be big. So I think at this point, basically my whole family's on it and trying to get it as well. So Simpsons went by, no one got it, no luck on there. Marvel went by, and boom, 3 of us got it. Jax, my dad, and me. I got Iron Man, as you saw. My dad got Iron Man as well, and my little brother got the rare, which is the Avengers logo, which is super cool. So, so I sold the Elsa in order to get the Iron Man, and even the Iron Man's not worth as much as the Elsa right now, but they're all gonna be worth a lot in the future. Right now, the Iron Man's like 800. They fluctuate, daily because it's an open marketplace. And that's something I, didn't even uh, tell you. Basically, I left it for interpretation. So basically, when you have it, there's basically a flea market, online flea market, where you see, okay, well, the very lowest price is, let's say 300. If I put it for 299, people, and then people are always trying to, get lower and lower because they just want to sell it. And the lower the serial number, the higher the value, So say when I, said earlier, there's like 15,000 editions, for example. If 14,307 or whatever is going to be a lot less valuable than if you have like 250, number 250, you know what I mean? A lot more value. So I don't have anything crazy value, um, serial number wise, or at least with the ones I have right now. So basically, okay, so right now, at this point, with the Iron Man, and, we didn't get a Pixar or the Walt Disney. The Walt Disney right now is worth like $10,000, so that would have been nice. But it was like crazy low editions, and we tried, but yeah, you had to have tapped that so fast. It's crazy. Plus, you're always going to deal with bots. There's always going to be bots, but VeVe is actually doing a really good job about preventing that. So, okay, so at this point, the Disney drops have passed. We didn't get it. So basically, at this point, I think I have like 215. They call them gems, but it's just equal to $1. So I have 215 gems with an Iron Man and 2 of the stamps. So right now, ever since I sold Elsa, I'm always going to be in profit. So that's why it feels really good, because I'll always be in profit. So because I have the Iron Man plus the 2 stamps plus $215, which is more than I've even put into it. Excuse me. So fast forward, there's been more drops. I didn't get lucky. And then I got, I'm not gonna bore you guys, but basically, long story short, I got 2 more drops, both of which were low serial number. So I sold them both for $100 more than what they were listed for. And I think combined I sold one. It was, if you're on the VeVe app, it was the Vultura. I sold that for 400, and then I sold the Supernova art piece, like the girl with the whatever. I sold that for 300. So right there, 400, 300 is 700. Or I don't know, my math is wrong. So basically, right now, I have 2 stamps, an Iron Man, and I've got $700. 700 gems. So, and I could sell both of my things to equate to probably around 1,400. So it's about 2,000 in total. But I'm not going to sell the things that I have right now. I will pull out the gems probably for money, but I know the stamps are going to be worth a lot, and the Iron Man's going to be a lot as well. And highly recommend you download the VeVe app and try and go for these drops, because it's super fun. It gamifies the whole NFT experience. It makes it super easy because you can put it on the marketplace. It instantly goes back into gems, and it's just great. So that's VeVe, ladies and gentlemen, which is VeVe on Android or the App Store. So, moving on. But yeah, that's just my experience, because I felt bad that I didn't say anything earlier. I truly apologize. It's just something that I forgot to mention, in my earlier podcast, because I totally should have said something earlier. So if any people were listening, but it is still early. You're still early. If you go in right now, trust me. Yeah, so no fret. And they'll probably do more Disney drops. They won't be, as good, because those were first appearances, but they're planning on doing Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like, it's gonna be some big ones. Can you imagine having a Pikachu NFT? That's gonna go for some cheese. You know what I mean? Alright, so moving on. I'm gonna be doing the new Pearson podcast intro. See, this is what I really want to do. I'm sure you guys have seen a Disney movie, in one of the newer ones, where they have the new intro where it's like the sky, and then the camera's moving back, and then the flag, you move right by the flag, and then it exposes the whole castle, the Disney castle, and then it's just like cool landscape. And then it goes down to the river, and then the Disney logo, and it sparkles. And that was one example of a cool movie production intro, but there's a bunch of them. I like the Lionsgate ones, the Lionsgate one. Of course, the Weinstein Companies is boring as crap. If you know about the Weinsteins, then you already know. But oh god, eyelash in my eye. I'm trying to think of a different one. Whatever, you already know. the intros to the beginning of a movie when you see the company's name and whatever. I want to make my intro like whoa, what the frick did I just see? This is to some podcast as 96 subscribe or whatever subscribers. I think that'd be super funny because people are like, I'll try it. This random podcast probably gonna be garbage, and then the intro is like, you know, I'm trying. It's gonna be nature, and I have this add-on that I saw yesterday. It's called Nisargi or something like that. It's Hindi for nature, um, but it basically comes with like four. It's either 200 or 400 trees alone. Now, when I describe like 3D asset packs to people that don't know anything about 3D software, which is probably 99.999% of people that are watching this right now, they're like, okay, so you're paying $75 for fake trees, like computer files. But that's the thing, like, and by the way, it's not just trees in this pack, it's a whole scatter system, a wind system, a so many other nature stuff, grass, flowers, you know. This pack really does have it all, except rocks. They don't have rocks. I don't think, at least. But they've got succulents. It's really cool. Bamboo, like awesome stuff. And it all looks really good. But basically, yeah, I'm paying for the models, and it's almost like Legos, you know? If you ever played Legos as a kid. Like, it's almost like just getting new blocks. That's exactly what it is. It's getting new blocks. Giving you more. I don't even know if it's tools, but I think you get it. New blocks to be able to do other stuff, and yeah, you can model your own trees. But if you think about it, it's like you pay the $75, or you spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, so many hours making all these. No way. Because here's the thing, time is money. All right. So yeah, I want to make some crazy extravagant nature intro using that new asset pack. Um, so I'm trying to get more comfortable asking of things from people because I am a person who I'm a people pleaser. I want everybody to be, happy and around me, and, do everything I can to make sure they're enjoying their time around me. I know it's a burden. It really is. But it makes me feel good, and but basically I need I need to figure out how to learn to ask for things. Um it's and say no. I think I've got the say no things down, but man, this asking thing, like, I don't know why it is so difficult for me to ask for help, or ask for financial help as well, or anything. Like, it is literally, like, not literally, but it is dang near impossible for me to just ask for something. It's very hard. It's very difficult to explain why. Because, oops, sorry. Because I don't even know myself. It's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's the truth. Um, so I'm trying to become more comfortable asking things of people. I don't know exactly what else to say, but I'm just kind of throwing that out there. So let's move on. I'm 30 minutes in, and we've only talked about a couple things. So I'm still steadily losing weight. Um, Thanksgiving kind of, went hard that day and the day after. Um, and the day after that. Um, but basically, yeah, like I've just, I know I've talked about this for the past, two podcasts probably, but you know, I think it's important or fun or interesting or some crap. But yeah, it's basically Halloween. I started at around 199, 195, something like that. I'm at 183, and I know that seems like a lot, but I really haven't done anything. Like, this is my second cup of coffee, loaded with creamer. I I eat like a giant lunch basically every day, and pretty giant dinner as well. The only thing I cut out really is senseless snacking and dessert. Um, and I'm just cutting down weight pretty dang quick. A few pounds. I don't know. It seems like, I mean, the first the first 3 days where I was going through a lot, and I didn't eat much. So I think I lost like 7 pounds in 3 days or something. It wasn't good, but that kind of catapulted me. I turned a bad thing into a good thing, and it just catapulted me into starting to lose this weight because I knew I already, was down a bit. So I'm like, let's keep this going, baby girl. Um, so yeah, still I'm at 183 right now, and I weighed myself after I drank a big old cup of coffee, so I might even be lower than that. Well, I am definitely lower than that. So, um, okay. So my goal is to gain muscle and lose fat. Simple as that. Um, and everybody makes it so complicated. There's so many contradicting things. If you've ever tried to look up how to lose weight or how to do it effectively, you'll find that there are so many different things which make it so difficult. Like for an example, people are like, some people will say if you drink your protein shake after working out, you might as well have just not even worked out. It just completely wasted your time. Some people say it's this that, but if you drink a protein shake before or during after or before you wake or right when you wake up or before you go to sleep, so many different crap, and obviously that's not true. It's not like it doesn't make you do anything. That's why it's so stupid when people say these things, because it's like, people are going out of their way to try and find information when you read some article online and then make a video out of it, or however, maybe they didn't even read it anywhere, it's just like what they think. It really messes with people's heads. So I've plain and simple looked it up on Google, how to get ripped, something like that. And this is what it says: strength train to build muscle. Makes sense. Cut calories to lose fat. Makes sense. Eat enough protein. Eat a moderate amount of healthy fats. Makes sense. Now, it says try carb cycling. When you start getting cycling and I'm like tracking stuff, nah, I don't get down with that, so I'm throwing that out. Use portion control. Yeah, I don't eat like a hog, which is checkaroo. I totally eat like a hog. Um, I compare myself in a prior life to a prized hog, one that a farmer would trade for like a wife or something. Um, use add high intensity interval training. Don't even really know what that means, but I've been boxing hard, so maybe that, has to do with it. Get some sleep. I bang sleep out. I get a lot of sleep. Um, I've been recently having a hard time sleeping these past couple of days. Like past 2 days. It's weird. I don't exactly know why. But yeah, I usually get great sleep. Get great sleep. Um, So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing that. Work out hard. Um, cut calories to lose fat. Eat enough protein shakes. Eat a moderate amount of healthy fats. I'd be guzzling down avocados. Carb cycling, throw it to the side. Use portion control. I've been eating less. I've been stopping eating when I'm full because a lot of the stuff, and it's a balance thing because I do not like wasting food at all. So if I can save, if I don't eat the whole meal or whatever, I'll save it for sure. But some things you just can't save, especially avocados. Sadly, they go brown so quick. Um, but you know, I'm trying to think. There's got to be a way of making them last longer because I know all the usual tricks, like you know, keeping the seed in the guac and all that crap. But yeah, it prolongs life a little bit. But those cados they just wanna become soil quick, or fertilizer. Um, so use portion control. Yeah, I'd be cutting out a lot. Stop eating when I'm full, or maybe like right before I'm full, because it takes my mind a little bit of. I think it takes your mind like 10 minutes to tell yourself that you're full. So add high intensity training. I've been doing a little bit of cardio, but like standard cardio, like burpees and all that crap. But mainly, I've been going hard on the punching bag, which I like a lot, and get some sleep, which I always try and get some sleep. So hopefully, one thing that makes it a little difficult to work out hard is my back issues. But I'm basically starting at square one because I'm not able to go in there and go hard on squats or Romanian deadlifts or something like that because my back will just be destroyed after, and then I can't work out for the next 2 days. And I'm doing the forms right and everything like that, so don't even start with that stuff. But yeah, it's just like my back and core is just so weak that I'm starting from square one basically. Like I've got very strong legs and decently strong arms, but my chest, my abs, my back are very lacking. So, um, and it's so stupid. It's like this is your life source. I mean, obviously your brain, but and if I could work out muscle around my head, I'd be working on that as well. But this is like your engine, and like people don't protect it, me included. So I'm gonna start adding armor to this. You know what I mean? This pile of dough. So I'm excited for that. So let's talk about Thanksgiving, which was 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago. So I was gonna do it on the Traeger, which is a smoker. In case you don't know, that smokes with pellet grills. Pellets. Um, it's called a pellet grill. God, that eyelash is still sneaking around. Um, so yeah, so I was gonna do it in the Traeger, but I saw the day prior it said in my area like basically a rain and wind warning. So rain if it's like pouring, then the Traeger won't work. If it's drizzling or even just standard, or as Phineas used to call jizzling, um, um, oh, hold on just a second. Sorry, fellas. I gotta restart this. Okay. Um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so if it's just slightly raining or just regular raining, then the Traeger will work like a champ. If it's if there's a decent amount of wind, then you just can't do it because the wind just seeps into the thing. It'll blow out the fire and all that jazz. So now I know I couldn't do it on the Traeger, which sucks because you've heard me talk about the Traeger before. It's just like, the smoke, and it makes it so, moist and juicy. It's delicious. Um, and it, whatever. So we did it in the oven. So I'm like, well, shoot, maybe we can try doing something, because I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but people cover the outside of it in mayonnaise, which is just eggs and oil, basically. Um, so it basically continuously bastes it. Now I think I put maybe a little too much on and overcooked it a little slightly. But it was decent. I'll do it differently for sure next time. But it was actually, I mean, and another thing that made this Thanksgiving a lot more whatever different is most people don't carve their turkey correctly. I mean, for example, it's pretty straightforward to cut the legs or whatever off, legs and wings and thighs, even not even the thighs, but the legs and whatever. But people do it so wrong. So this year I looked up how to do it, and I carved it exactly how you're supposed to, which is actually cut the breasts out and then slice it against a grain instead of just slicing one piece and then like that one piece has all the skin and then you're fighting over that one piece. Like, what? Like, that's just not a way to do it. So yeah, highly recommend you look up how to carve a turkey properly, because you don't waste like any meat at all. Um, it's super easy to, it's honestly super easy to do. One, like, the only thing that was a little daunting is cutting the breasts out, where you have to kind of follow this, a line in the rib cage in your head. But once you do the first one, the second one's like a lot easier, and just look it up. It really isn't that hard, and if you either have a really sharp knife, carving knife, or just a serrated bread knife, then you're golden. All right, so, but yeah, the mayo tactic is good, but yeah, just don't go crazy with the mayo, and I don't know, because it was difficult, because I'm usually very good about not overcooking my uh meat, but whatever meat I'm cooking. But it was weird because we took it out and I'm temping at the right places, but it's like turkeys are so effed. That's why the Traeger would have made it so easy, because it makes it to where everything cooks so evenly. But I was temping some areas and it was like 195, and if you don't know, 160 is when you're supposed to take it out, and then it carries to 165, which is the safe temperature. So I was temping some places and it was 195, and then take it out and put it in a different place and it was 105 or something, like literally that difference. I'm like, well, it's out of my hands. I have to make sure it's safe to eat. So you just go until it's all, until it all temps. You know what I mean? It sucks, but that's what you got to do to make it safe. So don't know why I brought it up, but yeah. Um. So something that I thought about recently is I don't need money. I don't need money, but I need time. Now, that only goes for people such as me, and if you watch previous episodes, and you already know, I'm not going to explain it. Because I think I'm like, I could go out and get some rinky-dinky job, 20 hours a week or some crap, even though that's like nothing. But honestly, that would literally just be hurting my chances of getting these things going. Because I was realizing, I'm like, I for the past, because I usually get my money mainly from Pearson Visuals, which gives me enough to pay my bills, my little bills. Um, and but I've been so busy with the sound channel and Pearson podcast and doing other life stuff that I think I've just kind of lost inspiration a little bit for Pearson visuals, but I think there's a way I can incorporate both, because what I should be doing is uploading the videos I'm making for my sound channel to Pearson visuals, because I don't know why not. And I should still be making my art and blah blah blah. I'm just like, I just gotta prioritize my time. So, but yeah, it made me think. It's like, I don't need money, but I do need time. And if I'm wasting my time at some ding dong job, then I'm not going anywhere, because I don't need money. That's the thing. I don't. Um, I mean, I need some money, but not like, if I'm sacrificing, I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna go into it because it's a lot to explain. Because say if I have a 5-hour shift, it's not just 5 hours, because I don't even have a car right now, so I'd have to figure out how to get there, which automatically turns 5 hours into probably 7 hours, because it's an hour commute using the bus or all that bull crap. Because I live in a small town where the buses only come like once every 2 hours or something, or hour, so it's not that great. So I don't think I'm gonna go. I think I might just save my proudest recipe, which is my hamburger, at the end, because I want to get into this the sound channel a little bit. Let me take a sip of this brew right quick, but I'm about to talk about the sound channel, which still has 2 subscribers, me and my grandpa. And my little brother recently unsubscribed because I had 3. Which is super nice. Alright. So, yeah, been uploading the sound channel. If you've never watched the podcast before, it's one of those channels where you upload a 10-hour video of some cool scene, or like a fan or raindrops or whatever, and it's just the sound of raindrops for 10 hours for people to be able to sleep too. Now I have TMJ, I think that's what it's called. Like, my jaw kind of pops, and it's just like, man, it is terrible, terrible, terrible. I need to wear a mouth guard at night, but it's like having a mouth guard makes me clench more. It sucks. But on a different note, let's continue on with the sound channel. So yeah, 2 subscribers. So there's a program called VidIQ, which is a Google Chrome extension that basically it's super cool. It helps YouTube creators see, well, a lot of crap. A lot of stuff. Basically, analytical data about search terms, trending terms, how well your title description gives you tag recommendations, all this stuff. Super great and perfect for someone like me trying to grow a YouTube channel. So it's called vidIQ, and there's a free version that doesn't have much. I mean, it has a lot, like a decent amount compared to what you normally have, but the paid versions are really when you really get into the honey. When you dive into the hive, and I just made that up right now. So yeah, for example, one of the biggest things, the 2 biggest things that I like a lot is recommended tags. When you're uploading a video, you make tags, which are basically hashtags, which, hashtag sleep sounds. So when someone types in sleep sounds, my video will come up probably, 4,000 videos down, but yeah. Basically gives you an idea of what the video is about without having to put all that information in the title. So it gives you recommended tags, which is huge, and I think the free version only gives you like four or 6, something like that, which is, it's better than a kick in the eye. But the paid version gives you like hundreds, which is super awesome. I'm probably gonna get that soon, especially because there's, uh, you know, excuse me, Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday and all that crap. So, so yeah, and then the other thing, so it's recommended tags, and then the other thing is when you search up something like, I'll use sleep sounds again. When you search that up in YouTube, regular YouTube, search up sleep sounds, on the right it tells you a lot of data about it. A couple things in particular that I like. One, it tells you how many people. God, my jaw is killing me right now. God, I don't know why. Ugh, man, TMJ sucks. But I don't even know what I was talking about. Let me check my handy dandy transcriptor. Um, all right, so it tells you how many people are looking that up, as well as how many videos are made on that subject. You know what I mean? So it's super, super handy. Um, and basically what you're looking for is high volume and low competition. So not many videos made on that, but a lot of people are looking it up, which is very difficult to find. But the paid version actually gives you some terms that are low competition and high volume, which I want to get very badly, because that'll help a lot. Because the whole thing is, I mean, you already understand, but if you look up something like podcast, you know, my podcast isn't going to be anywhere near the top. It's going to be the top dogs. I've been doing podcasts for a while, you know what I mean? So you kind of need to be creative with things like that, but yeah, so that's the boring nerd part out of it. What the other thing that I want to talk about this channel is I'm going to be doing a lot more 3D renders for the nature videos. So, for example, I've talked about this before, but an example of that is like making a planet, like an alien planet or something, where it's like, a video that you can't take because obviously you can't go to a different planet. So I'm gonna be doing more of those, and that nature pack that I told you about earlier. That's gonna, oh my gosh, gonna make it so nice. Um, but so yeah, I'm gonna be doing more of that because there are things. Because most of the people, if not, I mean, I won't say all, but most of the people that make these videos are doing things that they're just recording with their camera or something, you know. But the places that I create are impossible to record with the camera, of course, because they're not real. So I think that would is definitely going to set me aside, and I'm very excited for that. Um, and I spend like a lot of time on each one. That's the thing. Like I'm gonna spend, hours on each one. Um, and that really excites me. Yeah. Um, spend a lot of time on each one. And if you don't know, I upload 4 times a week on there. Tuesday through Friday. And the last thing I think I'm going to talk about, I might, because I'm trying to get to an hour on each podcast, so I might go into my burger recipe after this, but, so the last thing I might talk about is, or whatever, is I've been thinking about making a video on this channel about how to get a graphic designer job, like teaching people how to get a graphic designer job with no college experience or a degree or whatever. And I know how to do that because I did it. Um, and that's not for me, and I figured that out very easily. Thank God I didn't go to college and then figure that out. My Lord. Um, man, that, whew, I don't even want to say it. That's terrible. If I went to college for, 3, 4 years, spent, $50,000 probably, because it was like $3,000 I don't know if it was a semester or half or a quarter or what crap, but it was too much. And it was all online. I'm like, this is so, God, the school system is so messed up. But that's besides the point. Um, so yeah, I want to just make a video on that because I mean, it's been done before for sure, and I just need to make sure that I'm bringing some new stuff to the table because it could have just been my ability, like what they saw in my portfolio, which I mean definitely is a lot more what people can do around my part or around where I live. I live in a relatively small town. I don't live like in California or LA or something where there's probably thousands and thousands of graphic designer jobs. Like I'm subscribed to this place called Indeed, and back when I was looking for graphic designer jobs, I just subscribed to their mail, newsletter, mail list or whatever, so I get notified every time there's a graphic designer job. And literally, it's probably like 2 or 3 a month, and oftentimes it's the same companies just probably hiring someone and then they don't work out. So even in a small town or small, area that I live in, they're still available. And if you really, put time into it, it's possible. But I'm just thinking about making a video on that. I don't know if I don't know if it's good idea or what. I'm realizing that the mic is almost hitting the top. So hopefully the mic audio was decent throughout this thing, and I apologize if it was fluctuating. Um, so here's my dilemma now. I've got 2.5 minutes to fill. I'll tell you my burger recipe in 2.5 minutes. How about that? So, burgers. So, what you need right off the bat is a pretzel bun. If you don't know what a pretzel bun, look it up and get them. Um, they sell them at anywhere. I mean, not anywhere probably, but Safeway. They're at like Safeways and crap like that. They're not in the burger section, but they're in the bakery section because I believe they probably buy them from some local bakery. So you get them. You toast your buns. Always toast your buns. If you don't toast your buns, then you have no idea what you're doing. Toast your buns, simple as that. Use butter, olive oil, or nothing, whatever you want. I use butter, and I have a flat top, which is just basically a flat piece of metal over a burner. You do not smash the buns in, just kind of set them, make sure the butter's kind of contact. Do not smash them, because if you smash them, the middle of the inside will come up, and it won't get that perfect flat crust that you're looking for. So toast your buns, simple as that. Toast them to your liking. Some people don't like them very toasted. Some people like them very, very toasted. Do whatever you want. What I do is I put mayonnaise. Yeah, you can make like some fancy aioli with garlic and some stuff in that, and that for sure is better. Lemon zest, all that. It's for sure better, but I use mayonnaise and it's pretty dang close. And I do both sides. And I'm not like saying how to make the burger in any specific order. I'm just giving you all the information, and it's a burger. It's not that complicated. So, and I don't like onions. If you want to put onions on there, I definitely wouldn't put them on raw. I would for sure put them on the barbecue next to the burgers, or on, like, if you have a top shelf that's less hot, put them there for sure. But I don't like onions. So shred the lettuce. Shred means, not like giant flakes, because when you get giant leaves, you have to, it's another thing that you need to bite through, because a lot of the time you'll bite it and then you like pull back, and then a leaf is coming with you. It's like we're not going to the jungle, we're eating a burger. So shred your lettuce and put the lettuce on the bottom, because what it does is catches the juice from the burger and makes it to where your bottom bun isn't so soggy. So you put shredded lettuce, so it's bun, mayonnaise, shredded lettuce, burger, 80-20 beef, 80-20 ratio, um, yeah, 80-20 ratio, that's it, basically. Obviously, organic's better, but I don't even know if they sell any organic, because we like getting our meat from Costco, and they sadly don't have 80-20 organic there, so sometimes we just say screw it and get the worst stuff, even though my mom really wants to get organic, but the best they have is 85-15, which you wouldn't think 5% makes a difference, but 5% is astronomical. Shout out the H3 podcast. So I like cheese, cheddar cheese. I mean, cheddar cheese is the only way to go. Well, here's the thing. Cheddar cheese isn't the only way to go, but don't use American cheese. You can use whatever you want, but I'm just telling you my recipe. Any cheese other than American cheese. American cheese is only good on sliders, In-N-Out type, Five Guys, all that stuff. And even then, it's like, I'm not a big fan of American cheese. So yeah, cheddar, melt it on top, put it on like 2-3 minutes before the burger's done, so it melts. And so it's toasted bun, mayonnaise, shredded lettuce, burger, cheese. On top of that, I put the tomatoes. Make sure it's covered. It might take one big one or 3 smaller ones, depending on the size of the burger. I usually do 8 ounces. So salt and pepper your tomatoes. You don't have to pepper them, but you do have to salt them, because it's kind of like an avocado. It's like you're not getting it completely transforms it. Seriously, it completely transforms it. If you have ever had an avocado without salt and pepper, you know exactly what and then with, like, you know exactly what I mean. And by the way, avocado and fish, that's a golden combination. Try it out. Okay, so tomato, salt and pepper on there. You can go easy on the pepper, but salt. You definitely need salt. And then on top of that, it's just I would put the onions if you like onions. And then a bun that has a little bit of mayonnaise on there as well. And then that's the burger. And then, yeah, nothing too crazy about that. Now, for my burgers, I use this seasoning. Well, for one, I'll tell you really quick how to form them. And this is how I formed them at the restaurant that I previously worked at, and I learned all of this mainly from that restaurant that I worked at. Shout out Wax. But it's from, watching, Gordon Ramsay and all these, different YouTube videos, combine them into one, and I have came out with this. So what was I talking about? Okay, so for the burgers, so it'll take you a little bit of time to realize, how much 8 ounces is. I know, because I've made, I formed thousands of burgers on there and got them exactly 8 ounces. So, and they were measured, so now it's like completely second nature. I just know exactly how much 8 ounces is. If you want to make it perfect, then weigh them. So once you have all the balls formed, or actually I do it just one by one. So I form the ball, really compress the ball of meat. You have 8 ounces of your 80-20 meat. You really compress it. You squeeze it together like a snowball that you're really trying to make ice. You really want to, because the more you compress it, the more it'll stay together when you put it on the grill and flip it. Because if you don't, when you flip it, sometimes it just falls apart. So you really want to compress it. It won't make it less juicy or not tender or anything like that. It'll just make it stay together, which is what you want. So you really compress it. You really do it. It's kind of difficult on your joints, but you kind of just get used to it, basically. So you compress the heck out of that, and then what you do is you get parchment papers. Parchment paper about the size of a burger, a little square. I have big parchment sheets that I just fold and then cut up in little squares. So basically, what you do is you have a plate and then a little piece of parchment paper. You put the meat on top of the parchment paper, and then a piece of parchment paper on top of that. And then you take another plate and squish them in between. Now you have the parchment paper just so it doesn't stick to the plate. And then don't push too hard. You kind of maybe in the first one, you push it down a little bit to kind of see how one, you got a very important thing when you're making burgers is you want the burger to at least fit the patty. It's fine if it's or the bun. It's fine if it hangs over a little bit, but if it's not big enough, then you're slacking. Just push it a little bit more, squish it until it's at least fits the burger, because there's nothing worse than biting into a burger that's like a third, 2/3 of the size of the bun, and it's way too thick and easily could have been changed if it was just squished down a little bit more. Nothing worse. Well, actually, I'd rather eat a non-toasted bun than that, you know what I mean? And that's sacrilegious to me. But yeah, so once you push it down, you have a perfectly formed patty. You put some Johnny's seasoning on there, or salt and pepper, but I like Johnny's because it's a brand. It's just like this delicious seasoning you can put on basically anything, like literally anything. It's great. Put Johnny's on there, and I mean, it's hard for me not to say that this will be the best burger you've ever had. Truly. And if you don't believe me, try it out. Or don't. But on that note, I am going to call it now. And I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this episode. I hope you get something out of each episode. I hope your lives are going absolutely great. I hope your dreams are coming true. How you make your money is more important than how much you make. And always try and find perspective, because perspective's happiness. And I love each and every one of you that are watching to this point. I couldn't be more appreciative. Sorry about the audio, because I'm still used to getting crazy close, but now that I know that the mic is facing the right way, it should sound a lot better and clearer, and I don't have to stand. Like, I feel like this distance is plenty good, and I've been sitting up there, so sorry. Maybe I'll try and put a limiter on there, but nonetheless, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next Monday for episode 48. Peace.